Somebody went out there and discovered that Gypsy has been copying Mia, like, quite frequently. It could just be a case of, sisters borrowing each other's clothes. I know me and my sister used to do that. We would also fight over that. They were saying a lot of things about, like, how Gypsy looks at Mia, gives this evil stare. Gypsy made a statement in a previous interview on, I think maybe Dr. Phil, one of the shows that she was in, stated that she was jealous of Mia in the past. She didn't get the same attention from her father that Mia did. She feels that if she lived with Rod instead of Dee Dee, her life would have been way different. She may have been able to be a cheerleader or go to college and become a nurse like Mia has. I truly feel sorry for her because that's gotta be like a nail in the ass. Me personally, I'd be jealous too. Mia got to live the normal life. Mia got to go to college, be cheerleader. Gypsy got to sit in a wheelchair and pretend to be a sick, ugly kid with a shaved head.
Did we call it? Remember the other day on Mia's 4th anniversary with her boyfriend and the beautiful tributes that were posted on her page and her mom's page, and then Gypsy posted, she broke her detox and had to post the picture of her supposedly holding kids' hand, saying that's what true love, eternal love, blah, 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 looks like, and we all said she was jealous. Well, I don't watch her show. I don't need to. So many of y'all do and post clips, and I love you for it because I couldn't stand her getting another viewer credit. Anyway.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard has found herself back in the spotlight, but this time, it's not because of any legal update, relationship drama, or even a surprise pregnancy. What's grabbing attention now is her unsettling behavior toward her younger half-sister, Mia, and the internet has started picking up on a pattern that's making a lot of people uncomfortable. Everything started when Gypsy publicly declared she was taking a 30-day break from social media, particularly TikTok. She explained that she needed time to clear her head, focus on herself, and step away from the noise. No updates, no posts, just space. But that break ended abruptly, not for anything heartfelt or meaningful, but with a sugary couple's photo of her and her partner, Ken, posing in a way that looked more staged than sweet. The kind of photo that screams, "Look at us." Complete with love-drenched captions and hashtags that tried a little too hard to project the perfect romance. At first, it might have seemed harmless. Maybe she missed posting. Maybe she just wanted to share a soft moment with her partner. But the timing made everything feel calculated. Just a few hours before Gypsy's surprise return, Mia's mom, Christy, who is also Gypsy's stepmother, had posted a genuinely warm tribute to Mia and her boyfriend Andre, celebrating 4 years together. The post was full of affection, support, and authentic love. Then suddenly, Gypsy shows up with a nearly identical vibe, shifting the attention right back to herself. The overlap didn't feel accidental, it felt like an interruption. This isn't an isolated incident either. It's just one of many moments where Gypsy seems to be watching from the sidelines, waiting until Mia has something worth celebrating, and then jumping in with something of her own. One subtle example? Gypsy had received her driver's license a while back but didn't say a word about it. No announcement, no photos, nothing. But the moment Mia passed an important nursing exam, one that took months of studying and hard work, Gypsy suddenly decided it was time to casually drop that she could drive now too. As if she had that news tucked away, saving it for when she needed to compete. And it keeps happening. Every time Mia accomplishes something through dedication or life progression, Gypsy seems to respond with her own version of a milestone, except hers often feel rushed, hollow, and a little too conveniently timed. When Christy posted about Mia and Andre's anniversary, the warmth of that message stood out. It wasn't just a post, it was a celebration of something real. Gypsy's follow-up photo with Ken didn't carry the same feeling. It looked more like an effort to measure up than a moment of actual joy. The comparisons have become impossible to ignore, especially for those who have been following both sisters closely. Mia appears focused on her goals, whether it's school, her relationship, or family, while Gypsy seems focused on staying in step, even if it means forcing a narrative that doesn't quite ring true.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It isn't even just about being jealous of Mia. It's about Andre and the way he shows his love for her. Like, there's no doubt. There's no doubting that they're a happy couple. There's no doubting that he wants to be there. Andre doesn't have to blink twice to let us know he doesn't need help. Like, it's just true love. But with Gypsy, everything is forced. And Ken doesn't even look like he's into her. They're hardly ever, like that picture she posted of them holding hands. I bet you there was a lot of arm twisting, pulling, and guilt tripping to get that to even happen fast enough or long enough for her to snap a picture. She's 100% jealous of Mia, and that makes me worried for Mia because Gypsy has proven time and time again when she's not happy, she'll pull out all the stops. Look at the things that she said about Ryan. She even put her parents' personal business out there. Well, we know what she did to her mama. I hope they're all sleeping with one eye open because when Gypsy doesn't get her way, well, we know how it happens. We know what happens, and Ooh, Ken, Mia, Christy, Rod. You got some insurance?
Things hit a particularly uncomfortable note when Mia graduated. It was a major milestone. Christy and Gypsy's father were there. So was Andre's family. The room was filled with pride and applause. But Gypsy? She didn't show up, not physically, not emotionally, not even with a supportive message. There was no call, no card, not even a simple voice note. All she did was briefly repost a graduation photo on her story. No words. No emoji. No sense of pride or happiness for her sister. Just a quiet, robotic acknowledgement, like checking a box rather than truly celebrating someone else's success.
Let's talk about Mia Blanchard, the half-sister of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Yes, I know I already talked about this yesterday in a video, and I already said congratulations, but I just want to say, look at how adorable she looks. She is a weird mix between adorable and beautiful. I can see why Gypsy is jealous of her. I mean, other than the fact that Dad chose to raise her and be in her life and be in Dylan's life and not Nicolette or Gypsy's life. But hey, that's all on him, not her. That's not her fault. But you look at her celebrating graduating with her boyfriend, mom, dad, grandma, friends. You don't see Gypsy dulling her shine. So she's done. She's got her degree, and that's amazing. That absolutely should be celebrated far and wide. That should be what gets somebody notoriety, fame, doing the right thing, being a hard worker, doing all of the things that you want to do in life as an able-bodied person. That's amazing. That is fantastic. And I hope that her future and career is as amazing and as bright as she makes it and wants it to be. But for a second, I just want to share these photos. Because it was wonderful of you to share them on your Instagram, Mia. The irony is not lost on me, the fact that a Blanchard sibling or half-sibling goes on to work in the medical field when they have a half-sister who claims to be abused because of the medical field. You can't make that up. But you know what can be made up? Stories. But this is a true story. This is a good story. This is a positive story. This is one that should give you all of the accolades, all of the attention, all of the press, the fame, the notoriety, the congratulations, the love. But rarely does it ever work that way.
To many, it feels like Gypsy isn't just attention-seeking, she's trying to keep up in a silent, one-sided competition, a competition Mia never entered. And that's the saddest part. While one sister is building a life rooted in effort and love, the other seems stuck trying to prove she's not falling behind, grasping for spotlight moments, even if they're built on shaky ground. Gypsy Rose Blanchard revealed she was expecting. Mia didn't hold back her excitement. She celebrated the news wholeheartedly, sharing sweet, congratulatory posts and welcoming the upcoming baby with genuine happiness. But Mia didn't stop at social media, she actually took charge of making Gypsy's baby shower a beautiful and memorable event. From organizing the guest list and picking out decorations to managing the catering and making sure everything went smoothly, Mia was hands-on from start to finish. She wanted everything to be perfect for her sister and hoped Gypsy would be involved, but Gypsy didn't show much interest at all. Despite it being her own baby shower, Gypsy barely helped. She didn't offer support, didn't contribute to the planning, and when the day finally arrived, she didn't publicly or privately thank Mia. No Instagram shout-out, no appreciation, not even a quick message of gratitude. And that silence? It spoke volumes. Mia has shown up for Gypsy again and again, whether it's major milestones or everyday moments. She's been there with support, even when Gypsy gives very little in return. But when it's Mia's time to be in the spotlight, Gypsy tends to vanish. She's quiet during celebrations, skips the congratulations, and creates this noticeable emotional distance. No stories, no posts, no cheering her sister on, just blank space where warmth should be. This isn't just a one-time oversight. It's become a pattern. When Mia graduated, Gypsy didn't say a word. When Mia celebrated 4 years with her boyfriend Andre, Gypsy ignored it completely. She never uplifts Mia online, never shares her accomplishments, and the silence is starting to look like something more than indifference. It's beginning to feel like envy. And this isn't speculation, Gypsy has admitted it herself. In a documentary filmed during her time in prison, she openly confessed she was jealous of Mia. Not just a little jealous, she was clearly struggling with the idea that Mia got to have the kind of normal, stable childhood that Gypsy was denied. Instead of expressing a desire to build a bond or connect, Gypsy focused on the fact that she didn't get the life Mia had. She even said, "If I had her life, I would have turned out like her." That's not just envy, that's bitterness masked as reflection. But here's the thing, Mia had nothing to do with what Gypsy went through. She didn't cause the abuse, she didn't take anything from Gypsy, she was just born into a different set of circumstances. Still, it seems like Gypsy has held on to that resentment, and it shows in how she seems to constantly compare herself to Mia. This goes beyond normal sisterly competition. Gypsy isn't just reacting, she's mimicking. The way she started dressing like Mia, down to wearing the exact same bathrobes, boots, and skincare headbands, is raising eyebrows. It's not just influenced by Mia's style, it's full-on replication. You can look at their photos and see the pattern. Mia posts a mirror selfie in a cute top, Gypsy follows with a strikingly similar one. Mia wears denim with natural makeup, Gypsy copies the look a few days later. Even the couple photos are eerily alike. From affectionate forehead touches to matching couple poses, Gypsy and Ken have been recreating the exact kinds of images Mia has posted with Andre. One picture of Gypsy and Ken, for example, almost mirrors one Mia had shared with Andre months earlier, and fans have noticed. People have been putting the pictures side by side, and the similarities are too close to be random.
A lot of people fear that Mia's in trouble because Gypsy has a weird obsession. This video is for entertainment purposes only, guys. This is just my opinions for educational purposes only. Somebody went out there and discovered that Gypsy has been copying Mia, like, quite frequently. It could just be a case of, sisters borrowing each other's clothes. I know me and my sister used to do that. We would also fight over that. They were saying a lot of things about, like, how Gypsy looks at Mia, gives this evil stare. Gypsy made a statement in a previous interview on, I think maybe Dr. Phil, one of the shows that she was in, stated that she was jealous of Mia in the past. She didn't get the same attention from her father that Mia did. She feels that if she lived with Rod instead of Dee Dee, her life would have been way different. She may have been able to be cheerleader or go to college and become a nurse like Mia has. I truly feel sorry for her because that's gotta be like a nail in the ass. Me personally, I'd be jealous too. Mia got to live the normal life. Mia got to go to college, be cheerleader. Gypsy got to sit in a wheelchair and pretend to be a sick, ugly kid with a shaved head.
This isn't harmless admiration. It's starting to feel like an attempt to replicate Mia's identity. And what's unsettling is the fact that they barely know each other. Gypsy and Mia didn't grow up together. They've only been in each other's lives for about a year, so these twin-like posts and behaviors don't come from childhood closeness or sisterly bonding. If anything, Mia seems to be backing away. She's barely shown up in Gypsy's recent content, even though Gypsy had said she would be more involved in her life. Her absence is starting to feel intentional. Mia hasn't said anything publicly, but her absence speaks louder than words. She's been pulling away gradually, not showing up on Gypsy's live streams, not interacting with her posts, and definitely not engaging in any of the attention-seeking antics. Whether it's for her own peace of mind, out of caution, or simply because she doesn't want to be tangled up in the drama Gypsy seems to attract, it's clear she's choosing space. And honestly, it makes sense. Gypsy's obsession with Mia has become impossible to ignore. From her social media presence to her styling choices, there's an eerie pattern. It's not just inspiration, it's imitation. She's copying Mia's outfits to the tiniest detail, echoing her poses, and even crafting captions that feel like recycled versions of Mia's words. But no matter how carefully she replicates the aesthetic, she still falls short of embodying who Mia truly is. Mia isn't just fashionable or well-composed, she's emotionally grounded, educated, and stable. She's paving her path in the medical field, staying focused, and leading a life filled with intention. She doesn't need to prove herself online. Her confidence isn't performative, it's deeply rooted. She's respected not just for how she looks, but for how she carries herself, how she treats others, and how she shows up consistently in her own life. Gypsy, on the other hand, appears restless, constantly morphing, trying on different versions of herself for approval from strangers online. It's like she's performing a character based on Mia's image, hoping it'll earn her the admiration she craves. But the constant pursuit of likes, attention, and relevance only emphasizes how disconnected she is from her own identity. What's painful is that Gypsy had the opportunity to create a fresh chapter, one where she could be seen for her own growth, her healing, her truth. But she got trapped in the comparison game. So focused on measuring up to Mia that she never allowed herself to grow into someone real. It's not that she doesn't have the potential, it's that she's been too busy chasing someone else's reflection to nurture her own story. This isn't just about fashion similarities or Instagram photos, it's about emotional insecurity that runs deep. It's about a woman who hasn't figured out who she is, so she's trying to borrow her sister's identity like a costume. It's about an older sibling who looks at her younger half-sister, the one who got a chance at a healthy upbringing, and feels a complicated mix of longing and resentment. And the twist? Mia isn't competing. She's not watching Gypsy. She's not in the race. She's minding her business, building something meaningful, and protecting her energy. That calm detachment, that inner strength, it probably cuts deeper than any argument ever could. Because Gypsy is performing, and Mia is simply existing. And the more authentic Mia becomes, the more Gypsy's performance feels hollow. So here's the real question, has Gypsy's fixation gone too far? Has Mia already made the quiet decision to draw a boundary for her own well-being? And will Gypsy ever hit pause on the comparisons long enough to discover who she really is beneath all the mimicry? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're watching this all unfold, because one thing's clear, this isn't the end of the story. If anything, we're just seeing the first chapter of something much deeper.